Trump is goading us to impeach him. That's what he's doing. Every single day, he's just like taunting, because he knows.
Because he knows.
That it would be very divisive in the country, but he doesn't really care. Just wants to solidify his base. Therefore, today, I'm announcing the House of Representatives moving forward with an official impeachment inquiry. Impeachment is one of the most divisive and dividing paths that you can take. I see in some metropolitan journals and on some TV that we are trying to find our way or unsure. Make no mistake, we know exactly what path we're on. We know exactly what actions we need to take. Let's take it one step at a time. Let's see where it goes. And I have said the president is goading us wants to goad us into impeachment.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she's against impeaching the president.
George, Speaker Pelosi says President Trump is just not worth it.
Whether it's obstruction of having people come to the table with facts.
I don't think we should go down that path because it divides the country, adding, he's just not worth it.
He's just not worth it.
They wanted me to impeach President Bush for the Iraq War. I didn't believe in it then, I don't believe in it now. It divides the country.
I don't actually think that the Speaker has the votes yet.
And I'm sure it dies in the Senate. So let's not forget the elephant in the room. This is wasting a lot of people's time because it's not going to go anywhere in the Senate.
Political analysts say her views differ from other Democrats who believe the party should to impeach the president.
And there's nothing different from one day to the next. We're still on our same path. The president is making a case. He's becoming self-impeachable. There's something wrong with this picture.
House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, she's at it again.
Burning down the House.
We have to handle it in a way that I said earlier, worthy of the Constitution, heeding their guidance of e pluribus unum, that we are one, indivisible, as we pledged earlier, liberty and justice for all.
I got a brain.
This is only about the facts. Anybody in here in my generation will know just the facts, ma'am, just the facts.
As they said in Dragnet, just the facts, ma'am.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Just the facts, man. Just the facts.
But we can't go there unless we have the facts, and we will follow the facts.
I'm just telling you the facts, ma'am.
That's the fact, Jack! That's the fact, Jack! The MS-13 lover, Nancy Pelosi.
These are not people, these are animals. The President of the United States.
Exactly the name that I used last week. What was the name? Animals.
We believe, some of us who are attracted to the political arena, to government and public service, that we're all God's children. There's a spark of divinity in every person on earth, and that we all have to recognize that as we respect the dignity and worth of every person, and as we recognize our responsibilities with that spark of divinity within us.
The MS-13 lover, Nancy Pelosi.
And so when the President of the United States says about undocumented immigrants,
You're
a moron.
These aren't people, these are animals, and we will follow the facts. These are not people, these are animals.
You're a moron.
You have to wonder, does he not believe in the spark of divinity, the dignity and worth of every person?
Funding for Planned Parenthood is an unborn baby with a human heart and a human liver, a human being.
Yeah. Why don't you take your ideological questions? I don't have. Look,
it's not a human being. What species is it?
Listen, I want to say something to you.
Morons.
I am a devout, practicing Catholic, a mother of 5 children. When my baby was born, my 5th child, my oldest child, was 6 years old. I think I know more about this subject than you. Just the facts. Just the facts. And I do not intend to respond to your questions which have no basis in what public policy is that we do here.
Does it dishonor God to abort a baby with a beating heart?
What I say is I completely respect a woman's right to choose. We're all God's children. There's a spark of divinity in every person, but it is my view that it is up to a woman to have her own right to choose the size and timing of her family. That as we respect the dignity and worth of every person, God gives us a free will and holds us responsible and accountable for our actions. Every day that you think you've seen it all, along comes another manifestation of why their policies are so inhumane. Calling people animals is not a good thing.
Burning down the house.
And when we make a decision about this, whatever it may be, we want the American people to respect that we were careful, that we were methodical, that we were accommodating of the needs of the courts as we proceeded, and of the ability of the president to exonerate himself.
To do with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. She is offering up a brutal idea of what she would like to see happen to President Trump. Behind closed doors, the Speaker of the House told other Democratic leaders, quote, "I don't want to see him impeached. I want to see him in prison."
But impeachment is a very divisive measure. But if we have to go there, we'll have to go there. And of the ability of the president to exonerate himself.
You full of shit. You understand that? You full of shit.
Wow, you are really full of shit.
We want the American people to respect that we were careful, that we were methodical, that we were accommodating.
And of the ability of the president to exonerate himself.
Therefore, today, I'm announcing the House of Representatives moving forward with an official impeachment inquiry.
365 degrees, burning down the house.
Speaker Pelosi, but you have long said that there's no point in moving forward with an impeachment inquiry because Republicans control the Senate. It's going to die in the Senate. Is that no longer your chief concern?
I've never long said that. I've never long said that.
It's going to die in the Senate. Is that no longer your chief concern?
I've never long said that. Steve is right, but what I believe is that when we go forward, it can't be the Democrats impeach in the House, the Senate, in his view, exonerate, and the Republicans exonerate in the Senate.
I've never long said that.
Well, the Senate wouldn't convict anyway. She definitely said that.
I've never long said that.
100% said that. It's an alternative fact on her part to say she didn't say it.
Forgive me if I said this already, but I say it all the time, so I'm not sure where I said it last. Maybe on the phone earlier this morning. I've never long said that. President, if the president is impeached, that the Senate understands that they either honor the oath of office to protect and defend the Constitution. I have never long said that. If we have a case for impeachment, that's the place we will have to go. Silver lining for him is then he believes that he would be exonerated by the United States Senate. It's based on the facts and the law. That's what matters, not politics, not partisanship, just patriotism.
Every decision that she's made in regard to impeachment has been about how is this going to affect the Democratic Party politically.
The fact of the matter is that an impeachment inquiry or an inquiry of impeachment does not start because the Speaker says it does, throwing around a magic wand. I think Pelosi is doing this sort of faux impeachment inquiry because they realize that it might very well fall apart and crumble before their very eyes. And if there is no formal inquiry, they can then go back and say, well, we didn't really mean it anyway.
I want the American people to know what that phone call was about. I want them to hear it. So, yeah, it's fair. It's sad. But it's using the president's own words. So if he's...
Well, those weren't the president's words. It was an interpretation of the president's words.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
They're saying he made this up.
He did not make it up.
That's a lie.
And look, I'm going to tell you something.
Wow. When we had Adam Schiff making up what was in the transcript.
They're saying he made this up.
He did not make it up.
So he made it up. He went up to a microphone and in front of the American people and in Congress, he went out and he gave a whole presentation of words that the President of the United States never said. It has to be a criminal act. It has to be.
Then the media just lets him get away with saying, oh, that was a joke. When Trump says something's a joke, oh, he's lying. When Trump is joking about like he's trying to like poke the media. But when he says something without all seriousness, they just let him get away with it.
Did not make it up.
I mean, give me a break.
I have never seen a member of Congress paraphrase a document
and distort
completely and make it look nefarious when really this again the American people can see with their own eyes what happened on that phone call.
And I'm at the point I've had it. I've been 9 months of this. I've been in the Judiciary Committee watching Jerry Nadler and his happy band of majority run roughshod over rules. They don't care about the rules. They want one thing at the end of the day, and that is to impeach this president. They've wanted to do it since November of 2016.
Doesn't that look a little bad that, that really only one side wanted to impeach a sitting president? Doesn't it look very political at that point and not really the right thing to do?
Certainly it does. It's impossible to color it any other way if that's what happens, and it seems that that's the path that we're on.
Martinez told me today, there's this meme going around of me, and I'm saying, Donald, you used to own a casino. You know the House always wins. He's not going to be president. He is not, Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States. Take it to the bank. Okay. I guarantee it.
All right, all right.
But
all right.
You moron.
I am the chosen one. I am the chosen one.
Donald Trump is a here today, gone tomorrow candidate for president of the United States.
Are there tonight who've never been at the State of the Union?
But I'm president and they're not. I am your voice.
Stepping and stuff she really shouldn't be doing. This time she's making this absurd claim that Democrats are actually tougher than Republicans when it comes to border security. I mean, it doesn't even make sense, right? Because aren't the Democrats the ones that are calling for the abolishment of ICE?